Hey guys, it's me again. I'm just kind of keeping my voice down right now because my husband just came home from work not too long ago. And he's pretty knackered, so he sometimes takes a while. He just goes on his phone for a while, but he'll fall asleep eventually. So I'm just gonna keep my voice down. So quickly before I get into today's subject, I just want to do another quick celebrity shout out. This isn't a common interest because I'm struggling to find many celebrities that have something in common with me personally. So what I thought I'd do is just pick someone, I guess, and just talk about them and why I like them and whatever. Today I'm gonna do a shout out for Alison Hannigan, she's a fair bit older than me. I'm 29. Now the reason I'm picking her for right now is because not too long ago I just binge watched all of Buffy, and it's like one of my favorite series from the 90s, and Willow Rosenberg is my favorite character to this day. So why do I like Willow? I like her character development. She starts off as this really shy, timid high school girl, you know, kind of sticks to herself into the shadows and does her own thing. And after meeting Buffy, you know, she starts getting to the whole vampire hunting routine and eventually discovers that she can do magic. And she just grows into this really powerful witch. So I like watching her go from shy and not confident at all to this badass witch you just do not want to tick off, you know, in the slightest. And I really loved her relationship. My favorite thing was her favorite relationship with Tara. While I don't swing that way myself, as you guys have seen in my previous video, I've got a husband, but I like seeing relationships that just have that connection, that chemistry, and Willow and Tara had that. So I was devastated, spoiler alert, when Tara was killed, like just out of the blue. And Tara was one of my favorite characters. So I know that, I mean, while Willow does get another girl later, Kennedy, in season 7, I just didn't quite feel the same vibe as I did with her and Tara. But I'm grateful my favorite character made it right to the very end. Willow made it all the way through. And they also gave all these flaws, which is also healthy for growth, character development. Like, she wasn't perfect, she made mistakes, she even got addicted to magic to the point where it was like drugs, you know, she couldn't stop and she needed help. And then when she lost Tara, she went dark, like so dark, like she was this close to destroying the world. So yeah, Willow was by far my favorite character in the whole show. And can I just say, I was pleasantly surprised to see a certain other celebrity in the series, but I won't mention who it was. In fact, I'll bring this person up in another video and I'll talk about it. But on to the main thing. Today we're going to talk about this. If you see my shirt, The Walking Dead. It's one of my favourite series to this day because I am a major zombie fanatic. I'm going to talk about both the game, like the Walking Dead game, and the series. And while I love the Resident Evil movies as well, because it's zombies, I haven't played the Resident Evil games, to be honest. They look cool, and I kind of flicked through them on YouTube, I guess, or looked them up, and I like Claire Redfield, so I was really happy that they at least put her in the movies. So I got a few things here. Like in my last video, I had these guys, my zombie friends here. They're here with me. Where's the other guy? It's down near my feet. But yeah, they're gonna stick with me. I'll just hold on to my zombie cat because zombie fan and I'm a cat person, so two of my favourites mixed into one. You see he's got like little arm missing, you know, and he's got an eye and he's got blood. It's creepy and genius and adorable at the same time. So I thought I'd touch down on what first of all, the series. Unfortunately, I don't own it. I had a roommate for 4 years before I got married, and she downloaded it all, so I didn't really get around to collecting the DVDs. But we just watched it all. So we've finished season 8, and I know there's season 9 running right now. I just got to get around to starting it. My favorite character was one of them was Glenn, but again, more spoilers. He was killed first episode in season 7 by Negan, and he's Bat Lucille. But the other favourite character of mine that is still alive to this day is Michonne. And I'm a big fan of swords. They're like my favourite weapon. If you see like I said in my previous video, my favourite anime character is Urza, and she's just a big sword user. Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. Just a recap. And Michonne, she's a badass black chick with swords, and I don't really feel great about her and Rick, because she was one of those just lone survivor characters. I thought that wouldn't end up with anybody because she had that already in the past, just fresh of the outbreak. She had a guy and she lost him. She went through all the heartbreak, so can't we just keep her as single girl? Whatever, we'll see how it goes. But for me, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Her and Rick, I didn't see it coming at all. I do like Maggie. I feel the most sorry for her right now because she's just lost everything. She lost her family at the farm. And then later on down the road in season 5, she lost her sister Beth, who got shot in the head. And then she lost Glenn, and she was carrying his kid at the time, and I'm pretty sure she miscarried because I haven't seen her get any bigger. So that poor girl. And then latest thing, she lost her best friend Sasha, who deliberately gave her life. She ate the pill in the coffin so that she could go after Negan as a zombie. So Maggie's just lost everything, but she's still fighting. She's still going. So that's admirable. She's pretty strong. But of course, while I do love the characters and certain parts of it, my favorite ship that I'm hoping for is Daryl and Carol. Never mind that their names rhyme, that's just a bonus. But I've been rooting for them from way back. I mean, way back. I always ship them. Daryl and Carol are two other favorite characters. Carol went from a passive, spineless housewife who got beaten up by her husband. Now she's this badass armed chick that knows what she's doing. Like in the season with Terminus, how she managed to rescue everybody. She just covers herself in undead gunk and pretty much blows up their front gate, and me and my best friend just cracked up because all we could just see is zombie parts flying everywhere. It was great. What other people find gross, I'd find entertaining when it comes to zombie stuff, because I'm not bothered by blood and guts. And Daryl, he's right. He's a badass. He rides a motorbike, and he's got a crossbow. So yeah, but besides the characters, what drew me to this show in the first place was because it's centered around zombies and the undead. They're like the majority of the reason I watch this show, because I just spend half my time laughing at them. Some of my favourite scenes is when there's one zombie just near the wall and someone just splats its head with a baseball bat, and some of their noises are funny too. Or if they get stuck on a pike and they just keep walking, you know, they just can't go anywhere. So zombies are my comic relief, if you think I'm crazy enough to admit that. Which I am. I'm totally crazy to admit that. I'm gonna keep holding my itty little kitty. If you can see up there, the little black thing on top of the mattress, that's Rayla. She's gonna probably make an appearance in every video just about, because she is a kitten, and when Ethan's not around, or if he's in bed or resting or whatever, I usually watch her. She's been pretty floppy today. She's been pretty sleepy and whatever else. The other cat, Maggie, he's out the front. He's been inside all day, so he's out. Now, the next thing is some of the games I've played. Now, before I go to Walking Dead, there's this is one of my other favorites. This is Dead Rising 2. I haven't played 1. Because this one I have in my phone. I've finished the game many times. And just a quick run over it. You play this guy called Chuck Green, and he and his daughter Katie, she's like 7 years old. They're just stranded in this Fortune City place, some kind of a tourist attraction in America, in some kind of city somewhere, I don't know. And he's been framed for the zombie outbreak that happened here. So you have to use him to like rescue people, find survivors, bring them back to the shelter, and wait for the military rescue, and at the same time prove his innocence. And it all leads up to the big boss fight at the end, where you do verse the guy or the 2 guys that are responsible for framing you. And it's really fun because you can, like, as you can see on the cover here, right there, the weapon he's holding, you can like combine different objects that you find and form them into your own weapon. Like one of my general ones that I use is the nail bat, kind of like, so you got a bat and you find a box of nails and you go to the workshop, and then it has this like nail spiky bat that you just kind of splatter the zombies with. And one of mine and Ethan's both personal favourites is the drill bucket. So you get a bucket and a drill and you combine them. What happens is at the bottom, the drill goes in and it's sticking out. Sorry, no, they go down the top and the drills are inside on the bottom. So you put it on the zombie's head like a hat and turn it on, and you got like 3 drills and they're just scrambling up the zombie's brains. It's funny and gross at the same time because there's just blood everywhere. Now this is a new one. I haven't played this one yet, but Ethan's playing it. Dead Rising 3. It's about 10 years after Dead Rising 2, and you play this guy called Nick. Yep. I'm not really sure what the story is at the moment. I'm going to have to ask Ethan about that. But the graphics are better, the weapon combinations are better, and things just seem more intense. And of course, the things that you can do are a little bit more unlimited. Like you can actually, instead of just forging weapons, like things lying around, you can actually, and instead of having to find a workshop, that one you have to actually go, you collect things, and then you have to go out of your way to find a maintenance room. You don't have to do that with this one. As long as you have the items and the blueprints, then you can just squat down wherever you're standing and just make them there, which I think is cool. You can do it to weapons too. You can customize your own vehicles into like zombie killing machines. So yeah, that's pretty cool. One day I'm going to give it a try. But on to the important one is the Walking Dead games. I've played all of them. I'm just still here in Perth where I live. Season 4 hasn't fully been released yet, so I'm trying my best not to look at all the spoilers online of people who have already played it. But I have played the other 3. So we got the first one here. Number 1, where you play Lee. And he's looking after the little baby Clementine. She's 8. Eventually turns 9. And this is one of the more saddest ones for me because it's, you know, the first person user, Lee. Again, spoilers, he dies in the end, he gets bitten. And he's like the one parenting figure that Clementine knew. If you watch through the other 3 games, I'm assuming in number 4 as well, Clementine never forgets Lee. She talks about him every now and then. But this is Clementine's story. She's the protagonist for this game. I will admit I cheated a little bit. I kind of stumbled upon this game on YouTube, and I was watching a lot of other gamers play it, so I kind of watched a lot of walkthroughs and watched them, and I kind of observed the way they played or what to do and instructions and all that, so but that didn't stop me from dying a few times because it's harder than it looks. This one I played on the Xbox 360 because it was the only available console at the time for this game. So then we go on to number 2. Number 2 and number 3, these are Xbox One games. This is still focused on Clementine. The graphics have improved just a little bit, I guess. She was 8 years old in the first one, and then she's about 11 or 12 in this one. And it kind of follows her around, you know, she runs into some people, and they help her out, and she forms a bond with the group, and she meets this woman who's pregnant. This is very important. She meets a woman who's pregnant, and then towards the end, way later down the road, she gives birth to a little boy named AJ, who everyone who's played this knows how vital he is, like how protective Clementine becomes of him. So she becomes a mother role for AJ. She looks after him, and she has natural mother's instinct, even though she's only a kid herself. It's very tragic. You can't play one of these without there being main character death. It's really, really sad in that sense. So Clementine's seen a lot of people that she knows personally get killed, either by bad humans or just ripped apart by zombies in general, or like Lee, who was bitten by a zombie, and she had to either leave him there to die or shoot him. I myself choose to shoot him because it's the merciful thing to do, because I don't want him to sit there and suffer and eventually have to turn. It's better to just put him out of his misery and just let him pass on, and without him becoming a zombie. It's just the kind thing to do, because he looked horrible. And when it comes to his arm, the first time I played it, I cut his arm off just to see what happens, but then he was strong. He was a tough guy. He still managed to do many impossible tasks with just one arm. But I said, what's the difference? He's gonna die anyway, whether I cut it off or not. So I thought I'd just let him keep his arm when I played it again, so he could at least do useful things. And then Clementine has to watch him die. So it's pretty sad. And in the first 5 minutes of this one, she's traveling around with I think Omid and Krista. And Omid gets shot and gets killed by this girl. And Krista's pregnant at the time, but because of her grief and depression of losing Omid, looks like she miscarries. So that's more death going on with Clementine. And then this group that she goes around with, I can't even count. Very few of them come out alive at the end. So yeah, but moving on to the last and final one that I've played anyway, is this one, A New Frontier. No judging, but this one's actually my favourite. Probably because it's actually on a point of view, like, it's still Clementine's story and she still comes in, but it's actually focused on other people beside her that eventually meet up with her and help her out, or she helps them out, whatever. So it's about this guy here, Javier Garcia and his family, following their story after the breakout. And once again, please do not judge me, but I do ship him and Kate. Oh, there she is. There's Kate there. And that's my Walking Dead ship. I think Ethan mentioned it in the last video when we were talking about Dragon Prince. The reason I ship them is my dislike for David, which is ironic because David's actually my dad's name. But David, while he's not physically violent or that shows any kind of domestic abuse, he's verbally abusive to Kate. I don't like the way he treats her. He's just neglectful and doesn't treat her right. So I think she married the wrong brother. So when the time comes when Kate more or less confesses her feelings to you and you have to decide whether or not to be with her, I make Harvey say yes, that he does want to be with her. I know it's really bad to pick Kate over Kate over David, but I did try one time. I tried to do everything by the family book. I was a good brother. I stuck by him. I even tried to push her away a little bit. You know, did everything David wanted me to do to help him at Richmond. But I found out he's still really nasty. Still treats me like crap, you know? It's not nice. And as for the kids, I was heartbroken when Mariana was killed, because she was only a 10-year-old girl, and these thugs from the New Frontier group, well, just that Badger guy, just him, he just shot her in the head like she was dead, like he didn't care. And as cruel, as malicious as it is, when you have to fight Badger later, the first time I played, I chose to bash his head in with the bat, because if I was in Harvey's shoes, and I watched one of my nieces, I've got plenty of nieces in my family, if I had to watch one of them die like that, and I knew he was responsible, I wouldn't. I'd probably go a little bit bonkers. But I like the story for this. It is the most enjoyable one when it comes to gameplay, because the button controls are a little bit different from 1 and 2, and a little bit more, I know, simpler or interesting, or however the heck you want to view it. I have to do a little bit of extra shout outs to a couple of people. I had my favourite YouTube gamers to watch do the walkthroughs for this stuff, and my favourite guy to watch, I'll put his name in the description below, is jackscepticeye. He's this funny gamer guy. He's thick Scottish accent. And he is just a crack up to watch playing this. He's definitely one of my favourites. All his commentaries besides the movie conversations that happen makes my day. I still go back every now and then and watch them when I can. Yeah, that's The Walking Dead. Well, my favourite character from this, it's a toss-up between Kate and Clementine. The reason I like Kate, I don't agree with everything she does. She could have been a little bit warmer when they reunited with David. Like, sure, she thought he was dead, and yeah, she was obviously in love with Harvey, but she just didn't care about David anymore. It was just ridiculously cold and just heartless, and she just didn't care anymore. I mean, I guess in her defense, it'd been 4 years. They all thought David was dead. So him to just pop up out of nowhere and suddenly try and decide what was best for them. And I I thought it was a little bit not very brotherly to just, sure, take Gabe in, fine, that's his son. Take Kate in, it's his wife, and she was really badly injured. She got shot, and her life was on the line. But he had Harvey thrown in quarantine in jail. I'm like, that's his brother. He's just as important as the other two. Maybe even more so, because they've known each other their whole lives. I just thought that was really heartless of him. But Kate's probably the one out of the group that has her heart in the right place, and she openly shows it that way. When she was open with Harvey, she was like, I don't want to stay here, we got to get out of here. And she was right, because the New Frontier were, you know, controlling the place, and she was just scared. Who wouldn't be scared in that situation? But of course, my all-time favourite out of all of them is Clementine. I mean, who doesn't love Clementine? And I briefly mentioned in my last video, there's a anime convention coming up in June, late June, and I'm going to cosplay as her. I just ordered the hat that she wears. That's going to come in the next couple of weeks. And then I'll probably just do some casual clothes shopping and just find similar clothes that are similar to what she wears. I'm well aware that my complexion doesn't match hers, okay? Oh, and I don't care. I really, really don't care. I can try and go out and get a tan while it's still warm out, but it's very hot here. It has been very warm for the last few days. It's been going from like heat to coolish, and then a couple of days it's been like crazy humid. Like it's just been sticky, and our shirts have just been stuck to us, and ugh. So yeah, all those Walking Dead fans out there, and of course there's Resident Evil as well. I have DVDs 1 to 5 on DVD. I don't have number 6 yet, the last one, which is amazingly good. I saw that at the cinemas with my dad. But that I had downloaded that onto my laptop, so I can go back and watch it every now and then. But it's on my to-do list is to go out and buy number 6 on DVD so I can have the whole lot. And I'm hoping one day that some of the actors or someone can come to the con so I can get one of them signed. Probably the last one. The last one is one of my favorites because they wrapped it up pretty nicely in a apocalypse kind of way. I didn't make it all sunshine rainbow like, oh, the cure's all good now, you know, it's all been released into the air. I like how they ended it with the world was still dead and it would take a long time for things to heal and for the infection to go away. And Alice even said, my job's not done. So implied that while the worst of it is over, there's still got a lot of healing to do. A lot of exhumation or such. So, and it wasn't all like, oh, we're healed? We'll skip it. And then it skips to 10 years. Hey, the humanity is back. We're going to go back to the way it was before the outbreak happened. I like that they didn't do that. That would have been really cliche. Now, last thing before I go, I do have a OC that I've created, one of many that I have up here. She is inspired by Resident Evil. She is what I call my zombie slayer. If you just give me a sec, I'll go get her. Hey, I'm back. Got little Rayla next to me. She's a bit out of it. Alright, now, my zombie OC, I've done a drawing of her. Last video I showed a drawing of my older interpretation of Rayla from the Dragon Prince. Well, this is one of my own characters that I've created. One of many. Oh, she's walking away. So we got this. This is Kura. Name is spelled K-U-R-A. And her story is long and complicated, and I'm not going to get into it right now. But this is my drawing of her. Basically, she grew up in an infested world, mostly by herself, and she turned into a sword-wielding, I don't know, ass-kicker, I guess, I don't know. And zombies don't faze her, not really. But that wasn't zombie guts, they were all over. She kills people too if she has to. But I won't get into it. So, in conclusion, for my next video, I'm going to announce the next big rant I'm going to do, and I cannot believe I haven't done this sooner, is one of my the franchise that just kind of gave me the imagination I have today. I grew up with it. It's Harry Potter. It should have been one of the first I talked about, honestly. And I remember in my very first video I posted, which was like not even 10 minutes long, I gave a vague shout out to Emma Watson, because I know she's also, but I'll talk about her more and other actors or characters in that show in my next one. So say bye bye to the little kitty. Say bye bye. She's a little bit sleepy right now. Oh, but she's purring. She's purring. Say bye bye to the camera. Okay? Okay, bye bye.